my God, it's a slaughterhouse.
Hi, I'm Jenelle Riley. I'm Variety's Deputy Awards and Features Editor, and I want to welcome you all to this New York Comic-Con Q&A for Freaky. I am such a fan of this funny, scary, unpredictable take on the body swap movie, and so excited to welcome today's guests who brought this movie to life. So please join me in welcoming. First, we have an actor who can do anything, comedy, drama, horror. He plays the serial killer, The Butcher. Please welcome Vince Vaughn. I have made no secret, this is one of my favorite actors. She portrays the 17-year-old Millie who swaps bodies with the Butcher, Kathryn Newton. The actress who plays Nyla, one of Millie's best friends, and I think the voice of reason. Please welcome Celeste O'Connor. And completing the trio of best friends as Josh, please welcome Misha Osherovich. And finally, the film's co-writer and director. He is responsible for giving me so many nightmares, as he previously helmed the Happy Death Day movies, among others. Please welcome Christopher Landon. Thank you all so much for being here. Congratulations on the movie. It is so much fun. I really want to start at the beginning with Christopher, because this film is such a great blend of two genres. It's a genuinely scary horror film with this hilarious body swap twist. Where did you get the initial idea, and how did you sort of develop this idea?
So my dear friend Michael Kennedy he came to me with this idea, and initially he wanted to, we're all sort of this little writer community, and we like to sort of help each other out. And so he said, hey, I want to practice a pitch. So do you mind hearing it? And he said, okay, so it's called Killer Body, and he said, but it's sort of like Freaky Friday the 13th. And I was like, just stop right there. And I just immediately knew that I had to be involved with this. Like it just clicked in so many ways for me right away. Freaky
Friday the 13th might be the best elevator pitch I've ever heard. In 4 words,
that's all I needed. That's all I had to hear. It was immediately funny and scary and interesting and different and familiar at the same time, So it was just like, it just kind of worked.
I actually wanted to ask everybody, do you have a favorite horror film?
Well, I'm a crazy horror fan. I grew up watching them at a very inappropriate age. Like I started watching horror movies when I was probably about 5 or 6. I have so many favorites because there's so many just sort of subgenres. Kathryn knows my obsession with horror movies.
What's your favorite? I really want to know.
My favorite, I have so many. I love all the classics. I love Halloween. I love The Thing. So I'm a big Carpenter fan. I'll start there. So there's just so many horror films that I've grown up watching and have loved. And so it's sort of like trying to choose your favorite child. I just don't think I can do it.
Kathryn, what about you? Do you have a favorite?
I kind of agree with him. My favorite thing about horror films is like the cultiness of it. And I like going with my friends and like getting scared. So I like the experience of it. You sign up to be freaked out. Like you sign up to lose control. And I'm such a scaredy cat. I'm the one that's like closed my eyes and screaming the whole time. But, that's what I love about horror films.
Vince, for you?
Yeah, there's so many good ones. I think the one that I'll name as my favorite, and part of it is when I saw it and just how disturbed I was by it. And then I remember I dared myself to watch it in my house by myself when my parents weren't home. And I turned off all the lights in the basement. I only lasted about 30 minutes. Ooh. I was terrified. I went to run to go turn on a light, and I ran into a pole that was in my basement and fell down. Then your mind starts playing tricks on you. But that movie was The Evil Dead.
Yes. Great one.
Raimi.
Also, it might have been a concussion if you ran into a pole. That was.
Well, what was so scary about that movie was there was woods, but it was the POV of the camera. You never actually got to see, what the creature was. But the way that was shot and just the way it was executed was really, really scary.
Celeste, for you?
I'm like super, super new to this genre, but I think for me, it really was Get Out. Like Jordan Peele honestly really changed the game for me. It also was like, oh, I'm seeing people that look like me. It was a huge thing. And I think that was a movie that I saw and I was like, okay, I understand horror now. I can get with this. I can get with it.
Misha, for you?
I similarly to Celeste, am quite new to this genre. And like I've learned that I appreciate horror films. I was never a genre person. So like now I'm like going and doing more research, but I love Jennifer's Body. I think it's arguably a perfect horror film. And
Yeah.
I'm loving that it's getting a cult following finally, but like it is so sexy and it brings up like real societal issues with how women are treated. I dig Jennifer's Body. I think it's a wonderful film.
That's a great one. Vince and Kathryn, in addition to your roles, you really play each other. Did you sort of study one another to prepare for these roles? And I was thinking about this high school cheer or dance you both have to do that's very choreographed, and it's flawless that you do the exact same things. I'm curious how you sort of prepared for that.
Well, the first time I met Vince was in a dance rehearsal for that. It was like our very first meeting. So it was definitely the best icebreaker because it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And I immediately was like, he's gonna kill it as Millie.
Hail, Blissfield, high, feel our glory and our might. Ow, right?
You just listen to each other and look at each other. And, you know, for me, I thought Millie was just a girl who didn't believe in herself. And it's like she almost wants to be somebody else and she gets to experience that. So Vince and I, there were little mannerisms that grounded us in the characters. And then we had Chris to help us stay grounded in the story as well, like the backstory of who she is and her family and her friends. And when you have such heightened things going on, you got to stay grounded. So to be able to have somebody like Vince to get ideas from and like inspired from, it's like weird enough being an actor trying to create a character. And it was the coolest thing ever to get to share a character with somebody on the same movie. It was amazing and so much fun to do that. I mean, you can imagine how much fun it was.
Whoa, what am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you.
Vince, for you, were there things that you guys sort of discussed, like, certain mannerisms or just so you were on the same page, or did you sort of just keep an eye on Kathryn?
Yeah, I was excited to play it. I think as an actor, the things that at first feel like it's a lot of work or kind of is intimidating, I was saying with Kathryn earlier, like when your feet can't quite touch the water, it's kind of a perfect place to be because it really forces you to dive into it. So, in preparation, I just really built out the character in the way that you normally would and really tried to bring a connectiveness to the dramatic things that are going on in the character's life, because the more and I had great actors to work off of, the more you're listening and responding and knowing what's going on, and you're really buying in and believing the moments, it kind of helps, I think, the whole movie with some of the swapping and things like that continue. And having Kathryn and Chris to build it out with. Chris is so good in this genre. It gave me such confidence, honestly, because I could see a body of work that combined both horror and comedy really well, which is not an easy thing to do. I think he's really a master at it. And again, I think having a confidence in a filmmaker that you can kind of swing a little bit and put yourself out there, knowing that you have someone with real taste kind of, gauging you is really gives you a lot of freedom to explore because you feel safe. And then with Kathryn, normally you build these roles out by yourself. So having her, she had such good ideas and such great perspective. It was really nice to collaborate with someone on sort of a backstory. And then the three of us for rehearsals really did a good job, I think, of, finding physicalities and, different ideas. That was really a group effort.
Oh my God! Stop it!
I need a friend right now, and it's like, you guys are smashing the shit out of me.
Vince and I often would talk a lot about John Hughes and how non-judgmental he was with these young characters and let them have these real interior lives. And that was something that was really important to us. There's enough humor in the movie that's situational, but they're really going for it. And I think that's what's so fun to watch.
Oh.
It's just a stupid dance. Why do you want to go anyway?
I'm in it for the drunk straight boys who will suddenly realize they're fluid. And hello, Booker is gonna be at the dance.
He hardly knows I exist.
Celeste and Misha, as you said earlier, you weren't super familiar with the horror genre. How did the script find its way to you, and what did you think when you first read it?
Yeah, I got the script and I was like, this is insane.
He stabbed me with this weird old looking dagger, but when he stabbed me, we both got hurt.
What do you mean?
Stabbing and peeing is kind of rad.
Millie, focus. I was just like, this is this is insane and also amazing, and I need to be in this. I need to be a part of this. There were so many moments where I was like, oh, no, he did not do that. It was just the most fun. Like it was the most fun to read and then shoot and then watch all the way through.
Much agreed. Like, I mean, reading the script, I was going through, I'm like, this is just wacky. Like it works, but it works. And and you're like laughing for a page, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a limb falling off of somebody. Got it. Okay.
Great. We're gonna get killed by Murder Barbie.
So I don't know, it worked. And even like auditioning for it, I remember just thinking to myself, there has to be a way to meet this and just be as wacky as possible. And on set, it was equally as wacky, and I'm really here for it.
You're fine.
Don't worry about it. You're in a movie.
It just makes me think, like, Vince, like you kind of said this earlier, you just couldn't think about it too much. Once I committed, you just had to go with it. You were like, all right, I'm gonna kill Alan Rock. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna throw a chainsaw down and figure that out. You just kind of have to go. It was insane. I mean, the killing, all of it, I was like, I don't know. All right, just do it. So it's because of Chris. I trusted Chris, that he thought I could do it. You know what I mean? We did it.
Talking about the script, I really want to know what some of these deaths, and I'm trying not to be too spoilery for people who haven't seen it, but how you write these deaths, what they must look like on the page.
Right. Oh, it's funny.
It must be insane.
Yeah,
This
Chris,
came
what
earlier.
Mine, huh?
Yeah. So I was actually explaining this to someone else. I mean, I've always had a weird, unsettling knack for thinking up really gruesome, bizarre ways to kill people. And I grew up watching horror films, so I've always loved the genre. I think part of it for me is just there's a humor. I also just have this sort of baked in gallows humor because life is absurd and death is even more absurd. And so coming up with over the top crazy ways to kill people is something that I thoroughly enjoy.
Okay, who's a little scared of Chris right now? Admit it.
Or who's on my
point,
side?
I was gonna say, at this point, not much surprises me, but.
I do love, the film is so unpredictable, and I love the way it kind of subverts expectations with all the unexpected twists. Do you find it's hard to surprise audiences today? Because in some ways they have seen it all.
I do. I mean, I think if you're looking at it from a very technical standpoint, it is very difficult to surprise audiences. It's very difficult to scare audiences. But what I always kind of go back to is I always believe that if you build engaging characters, the plot twists are that much more satisfying, and the jokes and the scares, everything becomes heightened if you can get the audience to invest early.
What about for the actors? What's it like working with all that blood and gore? Is it kind of fun or sticky?
It's both. It's definitely sticky. I can vouch for that. Kind of like, but once you're in it, it's like if you get in the mud, like you should just get in the mud and play around in it. I mean, with the best day, like the bloodiest day was definitely the chainsaw day. And the thing about it is it's so technical, everybody's got to know when the chainsaw's going and how far the chainsaw is going to go and how much blood, and then we got to keep the blood going. And then my hair was turning pink. But I think that's what's so fun about making these movies is it's like, I will never do that again. I will never do that. Yeah.
I'm curious, Christopher, did you adjust the script at all once it was cast? Because, I was noticing a lot of jokes about Vince's height. And I don't know if those were already in the script or if that's just something that happens whenever Vince gets cast.
Honestly, no. Michael and I, when we wrote the script, very early on in the process, we did our who are the two sort of our dream people, and it was, I shit you not, it was Vince and Kathryn, and so it was more about, I was just crossing my fingers and super nervous when we went to them to see if they would sign on, because I thought, well, if they say no, then I'm gonna have to go and do a lot of work to the script. So thank you guys.
This cast has such great chemistry, and Celeste and Misha, you guys you're great both in the scenes with Kathryn, but also with Vince as Millie. I particularly love the scene where Millie in the butcher's body is trying to convince you who she is.
Guys, you're black. I'm gay. We are so dead. Stop running. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's me. It's Millie.
I'm sort of curious, did that chemistry happen naturally? Was it sort of easy to fall in love with these actors?
I think so. I was thinking about that scene, and it's funny because looking back, being an actor and that, like, Vince is so playful, and Vince is always ready to try something new. In fact, almost every take, try something new.
Okay, guys, listen. Do it again. Hit me for real.
Yep.
One up and give me a nice stretch.
You can't help but just listen, be in the moment, and we were acting with Millie. It was surprisingly easy because Vince was just completely committed. And at the moment, that was who it was. It was Millie in a giant 6-foot-something man's body. And it just worked. So it's actually really easy.
Yeah. Also, I would just say that I think the chemistry definitely did happen naturally, but also Chris, like from the beginning, really made space for us to be like open with each other and vulnerable and get to know each other as like people and friends. Like I remember a lot of our rehearsal time was like friend chatting time. And ultimately, like, I think that helped so much because when we get to these scenes that are difficult or challenging for whatever reason, I felt like I could mess up in front of them or we could try different things. And it was really like just an open and welcoming space that Chris really created for us from the beginning.
What made it easy is everyone was really committed to do something great. Like both Celeste and Misha, like on those scenes, they were challenging. You know, there's sequences that can be, you know, taxing and there's a lot of moving parts and it's ambitious. And, you know, Chris's energy is very high. He's got good standards. He wants to get great stuff and he creates a good environment. But I think, you know, we were fortunate, and this is true for Kathryn as well, we were all so committed to really investing in those scenes that, you know, everybody was really focused and supportive. There was good ideas that came from everyone. These guys would, or I would give ideas back and forth. And so it definitely very early on felt like we were working in unison, which just makes it so much more fun. Like we invented the handshake stuff or things between the groups of friends that got shared.
Yeah.
Kathryn and I would do some stuff together and try to play around. You know, Chris was nice enough to indulge us and try to, you know, play with stuff. So there was a great space to be playful.
I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but exactly like what Ben just said, like the set safe, like you were allowed to like make choices, sometimes screw up. And like some of the gems of the movie came from feeling like safe enough in Chris's hands and like acting with our partners to like make choices and see what happens.
I'm such a fan of the body swap genre film. I think it was really at its height when I was growing up. You know, we had Vice Versa, like Father Like So, like all of those. I just showed my age. But watching this movie, I was playing with the idea. If you could swap bodies with anyone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
I would pick my poodle.
Oh,
Hands down.
well, dogs have the life right now.
Yeah, they make my life a lot better.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Tough one.
Alive or dead?
See where he goes with this? You see how he goes crazy?
Yeah,
That's a legitimate question. Like, that could be like, because
No,
maybe
I said dog.
historically,
He goes dead.
I just mean like, could we swap bodies with someone from the past? I didn't mean it to be like a death thing. I'm not always about death.
Or time travel with body swap.
Yes, thank you, Vince. Thank you. Sequel idea.
No, keep it
I was
realistic.
gonna say that's the sequel.
There's your prequel. Yeah.
Back to
Keep
the
it
Future,
realistic.
freaking
You
Friday
can't
the
have-
13th.
Yeah, done. Easy.
Let's say living, just to make it harder.
Well, someone else has to go. It's too much pressure. I can't take it.
I shit you not, when you asked that question, my first reaction was, oh, I'm such a small person. I'm quite short. What would it like to be somebody very tall? So I promise I'm not saying I want to swap bodies with Vince. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm just saying that to have a perspective that would be like a foot higher, fascinating. So
That's what I kept thinking watching the movie. I was like, that would be really cool.
May I ask you a question? Do I look like a
You know, do I look like a girl?
Girl.
Yeah. You know, like 5'5", very petite.
Vince, anyone come to mind for you?
You know, I probably think, as I think about it, I wouldn't want to swap bodies. I think it's fun as an actor to pretend to be people and to do that. But I think there's something kind of, and I think it works in the movie, there's something scary about that.
Where am I? Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I don't know that that seems like a fun day to me. You know what I mean? There's something about it that feels like, you know, you see it from Millie's point of view too, like waking up in this guy's thing. It's like, I don't know. I don't know that I actually would want to swap bodies.
Yeah.
It's like after this movie, none of us want to swap bodies with anybody ever.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
We've all
because, you know,
seen
like,
how it
you could,
turns
like,
out.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
It's you! It's him! It's him!
I could go and become Joan of Arc for an hour, but, you know, I'd like to skip.
Which hour? But that's a very important distinction.
Well, before we go, I just sort of want to ask Vince and Kathryn, when you actually saw the final movie, you know, all put together, what was it like seeing each other playing each other?
That was the best
I
part.
loved watching Kathryn. It was fun.
It made me jealous I wasn't in those scenes. I feel like my best scenes were with Vince and Misha and Celeste because, you know, they just bring you up so much. And, you know, on the day you get so inspired and you get to play. And I think some of my best work was when we were all together. It was just so fun to watch Vince be Millie, though. That Millie run, you just were perfect, Vince. You just killed it. Good job.
For you as well. So fun the movie does such a seamless job of being scary and funny and has a great energy to it. Chris did I mean, I was really impressed. I knew I would be, but you know, it's not an easy task. So it's like the whole thing just feels like a great ride all the way through. And it's surprising, even in making it, it's got a great rhythm to it. It's really fun. Mm-hmm. It's got nice moments, but they don't get in the way of the other stuff. I'm sure that was challenging, Chris, in mirroring all those things.
I always just try to write from a place of, you know, I always say, like, I'm sitting in my own movie theater and watching the movie when I write it. And so it really comes from a place of, like, what do I want to experience? It's like, what do I want to feel? What do I want to see? And that's genuinely kind of where it all comes from. And I know that Michael and I, we had so much fun writing this movie, and it came so naturally to us, just because I think we both love. We have such a reverence for 80s slasher movies, but we love comedies and we love to laugh, you know, and we want to make other people laugh too. So I think that's kind of just comes from the heart.
Oh my God, it's supposed to be a butcher!
Time to stop this asshole.
We're in this together.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
It is such a great movie, and I can't wait for everyone to see it because I really want to talk about it with some people. I want to remind everyone watching at home that it comes out on November 13th, which I believe is a Friday the 13th. I don't know if you planned it that way.
That's right.
It was planned.
Mhm.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. And again, congratulations on a great movie.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you
Bye,
all.
guys.
Hey. Jesus! Easy, easy, easy. It's okay. It's okay. Look, I know I look like the butcher, but it's Millie. This is gonna sound really strange.
Booker? Booker, look at me. He's crazy.
Okay, Booker, can you look at me, please? Please? Booker, please, can you look at me just for a second? Okay, so last night, our consciousness or our spirit, whatever you want to call it, okay, it traded places.
You're all going to jail for this. You too, Booker. Unless you help me. Booker!
Dry up, bitch.
Booker, help! Booker!
Will you shut up?
Booker!
I know this is crazy, okay? And there's a lot of voices competing. You see my friends, you know, Nyla and Jocelyn, they're on my side, okay? And this is clearly not me. Have you ever seen me dressed like that? I mean, I kind of like a lot of what he's doing with it, but it's the point is that you've never seen me dressed like that, right? Do you like that? It doesn't matter. I feel like I'm giving you a lot of information and you literally just woke up. Whew. You look great.
Good morning. Morning. That's me, Millie. Ordinary, boring Millie.
I love your dress. I think I saw it at Discount Bonanza.
Okay, so I was never the most popular.
Homecoming's this weekend.
Booker is gonna be at the dance.
And boys never really noticed me. Honestly, if this was a horror movie, I'd be one of the first ones to get killed.
Cue the creepy dude in the mask.
Like I said. But actually, it turns out
Where am I?
I didn't get killed.
Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I woke up in the killer's body.
The Blissfield Butcher strikes again.
Don't freak out.
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead!
Ow! Will you stop? It's me, it's Millie. Hail, Blissfield. High, feel our glory and our might.
And not only is that psycho wearing my body, he's killing it.
He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Are you sure this is safe?
No.
Oh my God, it's a slaughterhouse.
I have like less than 6 hours to swap back or I'm gonna be stuck in his body forever.
Hurry up, loser, I gotta take a dump.
I have to admit, it hasn't been all bad.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Move! How's that feel? I'll make you wish your stupid face was never born. Oh my God, did you just pee yourself? Yes! Whoa, what am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you. Great. We're gonna get killed by Murder Barbie.
I can't wait to kill you.
Time to stop this asshole.
We're in this together.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
Look, I know I look like the butcher, but it's Millie.
He's crazy.
Okay, Booker, can you look at me, please?
Booker!
Dry up, bitch.
Booker, help! Booker!
Will you shut up?
Booker!